markets, the most recent leg of the market rally has seen stocks in the broader market outperform the large cap benchmarks. Is this an indication of growing strength of Indian equities, or is this a reason to worry about what's actually going on? Niraj is at the wall. He's got some interesting charts as well. Niraj, it's always, you can read it one way. The smaller stocks are rallying, so maybe there's some froth building up. On the other hand, like you said, maybe it's an indication of broader strength in the market. Which one is it?
Yeah, so, normally you wouldn't have any problems if indeed the broader markets are moving up. I mean, the index can only move up as much. After a point of time, there are only 50 stocks in the Nifty, but more stocks at the broader end of the spectrum. But the nature of the stocks moving up is interesting, and which is what led me to do this piece. Now, this is the 1 month performance, and you look at the top 10 gainers. Forget the losers, okay? Just ignore the losers. There are not too many losers any which ways, one or two names. But look at the names that have gained the most. There is RCom, which is news specific, but again, not an investment idea by any of the pundits per se, right? It's more a trading play. Unitech, DB Realty, again, a couple of ADAG names. Jayaprakash Associates, Built, it may be the largest paper player, but hey, it's coming out of a bag full of problems, or probably still is and trying to come out. Bombay Dyeing is an exception maybe, but it's a stock that has really rallied quite a bit already. Jayaprakash Power Ventures, MTNL. These are the top 10 names, and you got to ask yourself that does this set of stocks which have gained the most in the last 1 month give any confidence to an investor that there is meat to this rally? That is not to say that companies which have gained about 15-20% are all without logic. There might be. I'm just saying that the top draw for the last 1 month isn't something that inspires confidence. Now, you always look at relative valuations, large caps versus mid caps, and I know there's a lot of talk about how large caps are expensive. Let me bring up the 1 year forward PE estimates for both the mid cap and the small cap indices, and you will see the S&P BSE mid cap index PE 1 year forward is over 30 times. That is probably one of the highest levels that the mid-cap index has been at. It's been at an all-time high level for a while now. The trailing is substantially higher, but I'm saying even the forward PE, even if you bake in earnings estimates for a bunch of these companies, the PE numbers are not awe-inspiring. They don't give too much of comfort. You would probably, a blue-blooded investor would not want to commit large sums of money to the markets at large, maybe to individual names, but to the markets at large. Similarly for the small cap space as well, fairly high valuations. Remember, this is not to predict that the markets will correct or anything. We're just trying to question the nature of the rally and trying to mention whether or not there is some bit of confidence that people would have when they're looking at the kind of stocks that are moving around. And lastly, speaking of Anil Dhirubhai Ambani Group stocks era, December 19th was when this first leg of move started in RCom. December 20th was when the exchanges sought clarification about the price rise. So I've chosen that date. You would wonder, why have I chosen December 19th as the reference date? But that was because that's when the rally in RCom started to take place, and then of course the subsequent events. So these were the market cap levels on December 19th. These are the market cap levels as of yesterday, and look at the gains. Now, RCom, you would argue that, hey, because there are news, the stock has gone up 178%. Reliance Naval has rallied 80% from those lows. Reliance Power, 66%. Reliance Capital, 42%. Infra, it's again entered into a deal. You could argue that it's becoming debt-free, and therefore that rally seems a lot more logical. 30% you would probably give. But these are the kind of gains that what was arguably being dumped as a group to avoid on December 15th has had in 15 trading sessions. It's just remarkable the kind of money that is flowing in, or the kind of trading positions that are flowing in mid-caps by and large. This is just an illustrative name group. If you look at the first chart, you've seen the names. It's not just ADAG, a clutch of other names. And therefore, some people would stand up and question that, hey, now we're just starting to look slightly uncomfortable on the nature of the rally. The nature of the rally needs to change a bit. No problems with mid-caps moving up. They should. But just that you probably need a lot more stable names to start moving around, as opposed to what are not pure play investment bets starting to move on. One or two of them maybe. For, as I said, Reliance Infra maybe. Fabulous. I mean, it's under-owned. Now it's debt-free on a standalone basis as well. So maybe there is merit there. but not all.
Niraj, just go back to that chart and tell me what you think of this. So the first chart that Niraj put up. So even if you take out Reliance, or Arcom, so a lot of them are these stressed companies, right? With the exception of a Bombay Dyeing and an MTNL, perhaps a lot of these are in the stressed companies list. And I think you've been talking about the fact that market is starting to look at some of these companies. It's interesting to me that if you go down to the worst performing, that if you're expecting a resolution on stressed assets, why are you negative on a Union Bank, a Bank of India, etc.? I can understand Bank of India perhaps because they got put into that prompt corrective action. But if you're expecting resolution on stressed assets, then that should start reflecting on public sector banks, which have had the biggest set of the problem.
Oh, that's an interesting point as well, yes. But yeah.
Well, I could be completely wrong, but it strikes me as strange that we are positive on debt-ridden companies because we think the cycle is turning, and we are not positive on the guys who are giving the debt.
And at that point of time when that big boost of recapitalization is already there behind them as a tailwind as well. Yeah, well, pertinent point. Plus, I think most of them, Ida, if I'm not wrong, have raised money as well, right? QIPs for a lot of them
they've started, yeah. So it's interesting. But yeah, maybe they think that the sort of the roadmap for public sector banks is not clear. But
so again, a question, right, as to the nature of the rally.
Yes, absolutely. Very, very pertinent question. Niraj bringing out some of the stocks that have rallied and what that says about the structure of the market.